My client is not a man. My client is the beast.
Your challenge is accepted.
This one guy is secretly behind the two biggest wrestlers of the last 20 years, and nobody seems to get how he did it. Just watch this. You see Brock Lesnar destroying The Undertaker. You see Roman Reigns with his one finger in the air and thousands of people screaming, "Acknowledge me," and you hear this guy screaming his head off. One person connects these legendary moments, and it's not the wrestler holding the belt. So, if you want to know the secret, do not click away, because we're about to show you how he saved two multi-million-dollar careers while pretending he was just the guy in the suit. First up, Brock Lesnar. When this guy first showed up on TV, he was an absolute monster, a freak athlete, but he could not talk on the mic to save his life. It was so bad.
You make me happy, I'll make you happy by signing this contract for Extreme Rules.
WWE knew they had a star, but if he talked, everyone would know he was just a farm boy from Minnesota. So Paul Heyman came up with a crazy plan. He would do all the talking, hyping Brock up like he was a god, and then just get out of the way so Brock could cause complete chaos and suplex everything in sight. This wasn't an accident, it was a genius move. Every time Heyman talked, he called Brock an attraction, not a superstar. This simple trick did two things. It covered up Brock's terrible mic skills, and it made people buy more tickets to see this real-life monster. And when Lesnar did the impossible and ended the streak, the announcers were losing their minds. But the line that went down in history was Heyman's. "My client, Brock Lesnar, conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak." He literally says Brock is the one who did it. Without Heyman screaming for him, Lesnar is just a scary guy who wrecks things. With Heyman, he's a living myth and a box office legend. Okay, now for Roman Reigns. This is insane. In 2020, Roman comes back and the crowd is silent. That is the worst possible reaction for a top star. WWE tried over and over to make him a bad guy, but nobody was buying it. So what did they do? They brought in Heyman. This time he's the special counsel, which sounds super corporate and weird. But the first time they're on screen together is pure genius. Roman barely says a word, and Heyman gets on his knees and calls him the tribal chief. Suddenly, Roman's silence felt powerful. Brock needed someone to scream for him, but Roman needed someone to worship him. Heyman completely changed his style from a loud hype man to this quiet, scary advisor. And it worked! Roman's merch sales exploded into six-figure numbers in a single week. More than that, this gave WWE its biggest group in years, the Bloodline, all built around Heyman's storytelling. People said Roman finally found his voice, but the truth is, he just borrowed Paul's until he was ready. If you look at both of these careers, you can literally see Heyman's secret formula. It's like a three-step master plan for creating a legend. First, he finds their one biggest weakness. For Brock, it was that he was awful on the mic. For Roman, it was that the fans absolutely would not cheer for him. Heyman saw these as huge opportunities. Next, he builds a story so big that you completely forget about the flaw. With Brock, he created a hype machine so you only focused on his strength. For Roman, he used his quiet respect to make Roman's silence seem intimidating and cool. He didn't just hide their weaknesses, he made them not matter at all. Finally, and this is the most important part, he never breaks character. Ever. Heyman's commitment is so absolute that fans believe every single word he says. For Brock, he screamed. For Roman, he whispered. It was a different volume, but it was the exact same trick. This is why every single Paul Heyman guy feels like a final boss in a video game. He sells you the legend before the wrestler even steps into the ring. He doesn't manage, he builds gods. If your mind is blown by how much of a genius Paul Heyman is, slam that like button. It tells YouTube that managers are still one of the best parts of wrestling. And if you want more deep dives that break down wrestling like this, subscribe right now. For our next video, I am letting you decide who we break down next. Drop a comment below. Do you want to see CM Punk, The Big Show, or someone nobody is talking about? Let me know in the comments. Paul Heyman will never hit a single move in the ring, but he is behind almost every huge main event for the last 20 years. He took a rookie monster who couldn't talk and helped make him a living legend. Then, he took a hero nobody wanted and helped make him the biggest star on the entire planet. Two completely different wrestlers, two completely different problems, and one mastermind with a microphone solving it all. So the next time you hear "my client" or you're chanting "acknowledge me," just remember, the real champion, the guy who built these empires, is the voice you hear behind the star. That voice belongs to Paul Heyman, the most influential, invisible champion in wrestling history.